Hey everyone, welcome back. If you have listened to me already from my previous video, which I assume you do not. But anyway, today I'll be talking about some other shit, some other personal opinion. So, my personal opinion likely means to be shit because it's all just in perspective in a sea of billion. But anyway, yeah, I'll be talking about personal assistant, virtual reality, augmented reality, and connecting our life with AI. I mean, with machines. So yeah, you know, Nvidia just launched probably Digits or something, which is personal supercomputer. Then there were companies like Hello by Brilliant Labs, which is kind of how should I say it? It's kind of an assistant inside your specs. It has a screen, probably 20-degree field of view. It has bone condensing speakers, and there are other features like camera, which is very low powered, and it has like it weighs around 43 gram or something. And they have their entire backend architecture of personal assistant, which they call Nova. It is a very good company. Like you can just go and research about it. I'm planning to buy Nova. I've been seeing the demos for last 2 months and 2 3 months, yeah. And it feels like right now I can only pre-order. Yeah, I can do that. Like I just need to wait for my salary or something, or yeah, I can just buy it out. This is a very good tool. So how it works that it kind of records your all things, and like for example, it records all the things it saw from the video. Then it kind of do an inferencing on that video to get what are the things are there, because they are also little bit in privacy sense, in privacy perspective, that they don't store the data, because if they just stored the data and if somehow it got leaked, then your entire life is fucked up, right? So they also taking care of that. So somehow they condense the video in text format or some other structure, probably in RAG. They have not told it yet, or I might not have researched that much, but probably in some RAG database, and they can call information. And I mean, this is kind of a very good personal assistant. If you are not aware of that, then it might sound boring to you, but I really want you to check those out. So it kind of gives you a fresh perspective on the future, which can be happening, because the tool is already there. Yeah, it might not be fine-tuned for mass audience, but for you, for personal use case, it's already there. Then we have workflow builder like N8N and some other automation tools. We can integrate our own logic, and it is also open source, right? So the you can just call that HDK and build something on top of it. And how these guys, like, I'm not particularly biased on this, but I can just talk about how these guys are using it. Is like uh, it's like for voice assistant, it's also connected like Google Assistant, that you can call Hey Google, then it's also gonna Hey Nova. It's also gonna call the Nova voice assistant, and you can ask about anything. Like if there was something your wife told you to purchase, then you can tell if it the correct thing. Then Nova might say that no, it is not the correct thing, it should be on different section or something. And it has that memory feature. It might be in paid subscription because it costs a lot. Not a lot, it depends on the model, type of model you use, but it do cost, right? And for the architecture, the engineering build, the developer cost, and everything stacks up there. And just imagine if you combine that architecture with local models using NVIDIA Parakit, for example. Like I can give you some good example. We sell a system to client for 5,000, 10,000, $15,000. Like for ECU agency, we might charge $10,000. For another tool, we might charge different pricing. And if we can, like, these people buy that, right? And the glass you see, it's not a separate, it's not a primary device. It's just a separate tool which can be directly connected to your Bluetooth. So any person can buy that, and they have the money, right? And they also have the money to run local inferencing. Like they can buy a small GPU, or probably the digits by Nvidia, which do have probably 128 gigs of VRAM. You can run a 200 billion parameter model inside of it, which is pretty great. uh, 20 core CPU with their different GPU architecture, and it's basically a mini supercomputer. And if you can connect with your home own server, then you can run that entire personal shit with you. Like for example, can you imagine that you just woke up, it's just giving you all the things you need, and which you should be doing. It can remind you anything you just thought of creating something. You just say, you can just talk about it. You don't need to even click and press some button. It's just automatically gonna record your voice, what were you thinking, and it stores all the data in a separate storage where you can call recall anything from your transcription of voice. It can even able to see. So multimodal is a very good feature of it. So I'm seeing these things are coming to a very good position. It's just separated out in a way. We have very good models, very efficient model, very fast model, very cheap models, right? Then we also do have different type of architecture. We have glasses, we have open source tech, and multiple other things. We have GPU, but it's kind of separated in a very broader sense. So if you combine all this, I think right now, if you have more than $5,000, sorry, my bad, I'm getting a call. Okay, so if you have more than $5,000, just let me pick up the call. Hey, bro, I'm calling you in 10 minutes. My call, bro. Also. So anyway, my bad. Probably I'm not even gonna cut the video because I just want to make it raw and authentic. And I'm trying to be good with the camera, and of course my communication skill, which I'm pretty bad at. Probably you get from my pronunciation and the words I'm using, because I don't have very good vocabulary. I just know some specific AI tasks, AI terms, because I've studied those, and because of those words, like the people who meet me in offline, they might think I know some shit, and no, I don't. To be honest, the from the people I have heard those things have worked their entire life, probably like 20 years on that specific field, and my age is 20 years, bro. Like I'm just experimenting it for 4 or 5 years, not more than that. Anyway, so if you have more than $5,000, I think you can easily like a very good supercomputer on $3,000. Then smart glasses, $1,000 with all the tech feature and some server load side of things. It's just bro, and it do work quite well. And the architecture we have is, I mean, we do have all the things we need. We just need better architecture, algorithm, and personalization. And for me, the personalization, I can do personalization because I'm into automation. I know how to build stuff for my own self or for other clients. So yeah, I think we really are living in a future which we have dreamed when we were kids. It's just too separated. Black Mirror is real. Like if you see, we do have all the things which we need, and many things are even. If we like bandwidth thing, I would say that language, initially we used to talk in different manner in sign languages. Then there were vocabs, we can share much more information. But for example, if I want to send a letter from the place I'm living in to US, for example, Los Angeles or something, then like probably 200 years ago, it's gonna take 5 6 months, or like at least few weeks. Like if we like, I'm not sure about 300 400 years ago, but yeah, it should be taking a lot of time to travel all the information. Right now there is internet, we can send 20 gigs of video in just 10 15 seconds, right? So the information bandwidth have increased, and it's just between two people. But right now, how should internet is also kind of very good at bandwidth, but not our brain. So when we combine neuralink and something of that sort, so the bandwidth of our communication is also going to increase. So we are going to share more information. And when people say about privacy stuff like that, I don't think so that matters that much. Yeah, of course it matters in a certain way, but all these things are social construct. Like, for example, you don't go publicly without wearing anything, right? The reason it kind of become a norm, and we all have agreed that this is a bad thing. If no one would have agreed this is a bad thing, uh, people wouldn't have thought about it that much. It's just gonna be common. So we are actually really blurring the line between human and what is machine, because right now we are in a position we don't know what consciousness even is, and we are building conscious being. When I do believe AI to be conscious, uh, it can take decision, and it is also trained on a lot of parameter, lot of data. So it do have that generalized understanding. Anyway, I mean, people might have their own opinion, and just let me know what do you think. I mean, I'm thinking to build a lot of stuff around actually automating your life. I was thinking to create a company called Vibe Life. So you have heard vibe coding, right? You can just talk a shit and it's gonna be automatically create website or application. So then vibe physics and shit. So I thought, why don't automate the life, bro? I mean, this is what we all are doing. We're trying to earn money and do all this shit. Yeah, I can actually earn money if you see view in that way. Of course, there are human decision making point which are there. Like, we do have a ISO system which is probably the one of the best ISO system you can say online, probably the best I have seen. But I just don't want to say that it is the best because we have built it. But I can at least guarantee you it gives you result. So just buy the system. It's gonna cost a little bit, but after a certain point the ROI is very high. So from my perspective as a developer, the things actually I'm building, I'm not even purchasing that. So I'm giving my time to automate a process which actually gives a return on investment. And it is actually after investment of time, investment or of money, investment in context and learning the stuff, it actually gives. And when the system is built around it, you can just replicate it how many times you want, so you don't need that. So then it just kind of prints money in a different cash cow. I'm working in cash cow labs, but also in Benay agency. And I don't know how should I explain my position to you, but anyway. And you might think I'm a teenager who is talking shit, which is correct, because you probably in an industry where you are thinking that this cannot be automated by AI. This cannot, we cannot do that. But from my perspective, from what I'm seeing, we can actually able to do that. I might be wrong, but the things I just talked about in this video mostly regarding uh, personal computers, personal server with personal assistant. I don't think that is wrong because we do have all the factual things which are needed to do that. But in terms of AI, what I mean, if AI is conscious or not, if AI is creative, which I do believe it is, because we, like, if AI is creative, we are creative. If AI is don't not, we are also not creative at all. So it should not even debate about it. The reason is being entirely that you are also is data processing unit. You got to pictures, you combine the two pictures to create something. You heard a song, you heard 10 different songs, and you somehow got influenced by many things on the song and some other life issues going around you in your surrounding, from your people, from your mother, from your father, from your friends. And combining all those information, you kind of create, you just having a unique sort of perception towards something. From for that you just have a little bit of uniqueness, but all the uniqueness is coming from all the things. And if you believe that there is some another random thing which is kind of free will or shit, then this is random, it's not in your control, so it's not free will. So I mean, yeah, that's how I define. I mean, people might have their own opinion. Yeah. So if some of you are builders or want to experiment on something, because you see currency, there is not going to be any currency in future, at least in my opinion, because the concept of money itself is too flawed. I mean, too flawed to be real even, right? It's like $200 trillion in debt, man. How the fuck people are gonna do something? But yeah, I mean, I'm not in the top of that chain to change anything, and I don't have any proper solution to be implemented or on, and I don't want to give my priority to those things. Even uh, okay, so let's come to the point which I was not intentionally, but I was diverting from. Know which tech stack to use. Probably it's gonna be more of a efficient. It's not always about the best intelligent. It's about which specific task for which use case. So, for example, I can talk about Noah, right? So, imagine Noah is open source, right? You just build your own software around it. You have a server. Then you install a model like Parakit 2, probably version 2, which was by NVIDIA, which is actually text to speech, and it is very good at it. You can just run this. This does not, you can run it even 1 GPU of VRAM, probably in CPU. So it is not that even resource intensive, and there you can also download 200 billion. I'm not telling you to download 200 billion parameter model, but like recently Minimax M2 launched, which is probably fourth in the artificial intelligence index right now. Uh, so it is 200 billion or something, but the active parameter is 10 billion. So only 10 billion parameters activated during that task. So the output are gonna be much faster. The speed is going to be much faster. And for example, you have 1 TB of data or 5 TB of hard disk, not data, and you can just store all the information here there. It will work as hippocampus. Inside your brain you have a memory hippocampus. Here you have a SSD, which AI can call. In hippocampus, there are multiple neurons firing and telling which thing to focus on. Because if you want to remember something, you don't remember all the things. You remember separate layer by layer, and you only remember things which you need on that time. So our brain does not uh, waste too much time on how should- processing other information which you don't need. Same with this. You can kind of an system like RAG or even much more efficient. Probably V7 also launched a very efficient way, which is kind of a RAG, but it requires a little more token, but the accuracy is much more better. And the thing I'm telling is the least it can get, right? There will be better architecture, there will be better efficient methods. So yeah, there is memory of you if you want to recall something. AI can do that. Shit, my here is looking like shit anyway. So that is there. And what okay, so what I was telling, that you can ask any question. It is probably multimodal, so you can upload images. I'm not sure about video, but Gemini 2.5, Gemini can get video because it has much more context length. So probably if we integrate, because you see right now it's just closed source, but people are going to create open source tech. There are good open source, even video understanding models also, but I'm not sure if it is comparable to Gemini 2.5 Pro or Gemini 3 is going to get released, right? So I don't want to talk about, but there will be open source and you can integrate that. And if you don't want to integrate that, you don't have GPU to run on you, then you can use some API call through Open Router, so you can change any model whenever you want. And probably Open Router also uses OpenAI SDK, so you can just plug and play and change the model whenever you want. Depends on the time you are watching this video. Not watching this video. I mean, this video does not even matter, to be honest. But yeah, it's going to be 20 minutes, and I don't know what I talked about. I forgot all the things because it's totally unstructured things I'm talking about. Like, I don't know, I just got an idea and I just tried to share it because I don't know, for like last 3 4 years I have written more than 200 script. I have cloned some SaaS. I have built multiple automation which businesses do use. I have built with some very bigger companies, some even unicorn companies, to be honest. I don't want to share my name, but I like not as a very big position, but as a support engineer or um, as personal engineer or an N8N developer, that if they need help in N8N, I can help in that. So that is there. And I'm not sure if the things I talk about is valid or not, but I just don't want to be in that rabbit hole that I have script, but I have not shared it anywhere. And I might have forgotten everything because my phone got crashed, or my phone destroyed, my phone lost, which actually happened to me. My phone got formatted because of I was trying to add some uh, custom OS or something. I mean, you might know that Google Pixel have unlimited backup, and probably 3 years ago, back then I was trying to add custom ROM to my phone, so it recognizes as Pixel, so I can actually store unlimited uh, videos and photos. So on that time there were some malfunctions and my storage got corrupted, so I needed to format it. I tried to recover things, but the main issue was, like, for example, for images and videos, even if you delete, it saves in a dot thumbnail. So if you use tools like disk taker, and there are some multiple application in your computer, you can actually recover that from dot thumbnails. Might not be in the same quality as it was, but nonetheless it can restore those. But I had a very bad habit of even deleting the thumbnail for the sake of storage and some. Anyway, I think it's been quite a while. Feel free to disagree, feel free to share any information, and yeah, bye.